Happy Sunday. I don't know if any of you noticed from last week's video, because I was trying to capture that. That's why there was less music on it than normally. The amount of nature sounds here, the birds. It's just, it's the greatest soundtrack you could ever have. Sounds great. Anyway, let's get this week started. Okay, as promised, some planting's been going on. This is sage, which is just about to have flowers. There's a purple sweet potato, a couple of cucumber plants, and then there's a piece coming along there. Quite a lot. I'm going to go quite heavy on peas this year. The courgettes survived the night quite nicely. There's a couple of leaves got a couple of bites, but still okay. The beer trap, which is here, it's just been filled because it's worked really well. I put some rosemary in here. A few different spots of rosemary. And here's a couple of new cantaloupes. Let's see how they do. This little bugger here is chickpea. And my potatoes are, let's skip to the potatoes. The first potato plants are coming quite nicely here. There's going to be a whole bed of potatoes here, and then this back bed here I'm keeping for the Irish potatoes. My tomato plants were here already before, but I planted some basil, some parsley, some more basil, some chives, some more basil, some more parsley, this is flat leaf parsley, some more basil, some more chives, and a couple of new pepper plants. I'm not even sure what kind of peppers they are. I feel like they might be hot ones, but we'll see. A few more cabbages, because the other cabbages were kind of eaten a little bit. They're still fighting, but they've been eaten pretty badly, so hopefully they survive now after the beer trap is in action. Another chive there. Dill. We actually love dill. We use it for Finnish summer soup. What else is going on here? Aubergines. Aubergine. Strawberries. We just had our just a taste of our first strawberries, and I'm telling you, you cannot buy strawberries like this in a shop. It's just unreal. And I've got two different blueberry bushes here, so they're gonna go out. Put another chive here because I'm hoping my carrots are gonna eventually raise their heads. And if not, I'm gonna plant more here. The chives are good for keeping the pests away from it. Oh yeah, a couple of beetroots. I had them in Blanny and they were really good. That's an artichoke, which it's just gonna settle in, and we're not expecting anything out of this season. It'll be next season, but then it'll come back every year. Loads of different kind of onions here as well. And to top it all off, another glorious evening here, and I'm enjoying very nice beer. Well deserved. Somewhere deep down I feel like I have seen it all before, like same old demons crawling out and knocking at my door. Can someone tell me why this lesson seems to be so hard to learn? Until we fall down to the ground, our fingers they get burned. I keep on making same mistakes, driving downhill with no brakes. Pour me one more glass and I try to hide my shakes. Tell me why with wounded soul the heart seems to grow so cold, and never seem to find a place that I could call my home. Okay, the car is in the control place, and I couldn't resist because right beside it is a garden centre. So here we go. I'm having fun with the weed whacker. Not. But my phone is acting up and I cannot really film much, so hopefully see how much I get of this. Because my phone memory keeps on getting full, even if I delete stuff and delete stuff and delete stuff and delete stuff and delete stuff. Crazy. Anyway, this phone is getting old, so I'll probably need to get a new one soon. So, sorry I haven't been capturing the boring job of me cutting grass, but that's all I can do. But that's what I've been doing. As I said, all the health checks, me, Nat, and the car, all good. Got more plants. Gonna plant some salads tonight. I planted a lot more salad today. It's kind of all over the place. Salad is one of those great plants that you got a companion planted with loads of different stuff. So yeah, I'm happy that that got done. Warrow slugs, bear traps, coffee, eggshells. Bear traps, you bury them into the garden at the level of the ground. You can use really any kind of containers. Today I'm using the tins from our cat food and yogurt pots. You get cheap beer, keep the good stuff for your personal consumption. From my experience, the slugs are not picky. I have heard though, apparently Guinness works particularly well, but we keep that for ourselves. And what happens is the slugs love the beer, they get in there and they drown. Now, here's one I made earlier. That's a quite successful collection. And the dead slugs and the beer go to my compost. Coffee. There's a coffee brewed this morning. Don't put them directly on the plants because otherwise the plants will have a caffeine poisoning. But around them, it's really good fertilizer, and the snails and slugs hate the smell of it, so they try to avoid it. So every morning our coffee goes to the garden and the filter goes to the compost. As for the eggshells, you just take them and you crush them and you put them around the garden. People used to do this thinking that you get a lot of calcium out of it. To be honest with you, the absorption of that is very, very slow. It works better in your compost than it does anywhere else. But what it does is it creates a kind of ground that, again, snails don't like to be walking on or crawling on, whatever you call it, sliming on. So those are my few tips on how to fight against slugs and snails. I don't really have that many problems with the snails. More slugs here. Now, as if anybody is going there like, oh, poor slugs, they're drowning the bears, cool way to kill them. Let's make it very clear. Those slugs eat everything, and I mean everything, in your garden. And if you think that, you know, it's one of those things of, I don't want to harm the animals, so I eat vegetables. You would not have those vegetables unless somebody went around and killed those snails or got rid of them, because there's excess of them. And let's be clear, like if you buy from a supermarket industrially harvested vegetables, there's massive plowing machines that turn the soil upside down and kill billions of insects. So what I'm trying to do, I might kill a couple of snails, but I'm trying to get as much of our vegetables from this garden as possible. There's no mass farming, there's no big machines destroying the soil, because you got to care for the soil. That's very important. So there you go. You have any ideas how to get rid of slugs? Let me know in the comments. Cows are chilling. I believe the meat range is on the way. Okay, I'm doing the second flower pot barrel. So I put a lining, plastic lining, and then I put a little cross at the bottom, because there's a hole at the bottom of the thing, so if there's excess water, it doesn't just run at the bottom, it'll get out of there. Then I'm putting a little bit of branches, dead branches, and then we're going to continue with, I'll probably put a little bit of the miscontus at the bottom, then the wood chips, then some soil, I mix it with a little bit of sand, and then I've got some planting turf there at the front, so that should be then good to go for the plants. Wood chips. This kind of organic matter is probably the best base for any kind of bed or pot, like the bigger pot like this, like something that, you know, there's room to breathe basically. Oxygen is very important, and the fact that it doesn't get flooded with water, because then the oxygen disappears.
Actually, the best would be for me to make my own apple sauce.
Oh, Kevin was in here today. He changed some parts. There's one kind of film inside of it, or seal, I suppose, that was cracked. And now it seems to be working again. I'm still getting my head around the coil thing. It's a pain in the ass, but that's just the way it is. We've been waiting for a thunderstorm all day, and now it's starting to rain. Hasn't really rained properly, but I got the grass at the front at the road cut all the way there, so that's good. That's good. That's done. Yeah, I think Dan is coming Dan and Clara are coming over for a visit, so better get some munchies done. Good morning from Leversum at the Kusri. Having my morning coffee. Actually my second morning coffee, to be honest with you. I spent about 20 minutes this morning in the garden. There were so many slugs on the ground, and I just kept on throwing them into the field next door. So today we have a big day coming up. Once again, the group is coming back today. So it'll be, as far as I know, Jean-Pierre, Roma, and Kevin, Natalie's brother, are coming all here. More slugs. Look at these little buggers. Yeah. So I just picked them up and throw them on the field next door. Oh, flying slugs. Another one. Bloody hell. Jesus. I honestly have been thrown, I think I've thrown about 30 of them out of the garden today. And the bear traps have another about 10. This is unreal. But I'm determined to fight back. There's another one. Whew. Crazy. So yeah, today hopefully we get the stairs to the attic finished, but also the big part is that there's a part of concrete that needs to be laid on the corner of the house. Let me show you. So here, you know that we had a little bit of a flooding problem occasionally when a really hard rain in the cave inside. We think it's coming from this side of the house. So we will put a concrete slab on it. And this is also the only part of the house that doesn't have like a concrete at the edge of the foundations. So that's kind of gonna be sorted. This here is the garage, so that's not really structurally in the house. It's kind of addition to it. Whereas this part from inside is the garage, and that's where we're most worried about the water going into the cave. So that's gonna be late today, I think. Anyway, on another note, I got a gig on Saturday night, and I haven't had time to make any music. And I think tomorrow is going to be a rainy day, and I think I'm going to put that day aside and just lock myself into the caravan and get some music done. What do you think, Chanel? What do you think? Should we do that? I think I need a new wheelbarrow.
fait de l'eau. Hein? On aura fait de l'eau pour mettre. Ouais, je pense qu'on veut faire deux mois, je pense.
Finishing the drainage wells for the heavy rainwater. So if the water comes up to this high, it has somewhere to go. And it won't get through this wall. And they're doing the same thing on the other side right now. Quite a productive morning. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna change the gears. The crew left just before lunch. Had a lovely lunch. Now I'm back on the stairs. So I'm just doing the front and then I'm screwing these in. And I cut just these two pieces for the corners, so they're starting to look like a staircase. But I'm pretty happy with that so far. Let's keep going. So the concrete slab was done here. I don't know, does anybody else feel like this looks like a tiny concert stage? Do you know? I know it's a small space here where you could fit people, but well, we'll see. This fence might eventually go, it might be a little bit bigger space, but that's a different story, and we'll see if it's going to happen or not. But you know, you could have like a rugs here, people sitting on the ground, and a little mini concert here. Something to think about. Right on the money. Bang on. Okay, the fronts are done except the very last one. The very last one, I kind of have a feeling that there's still some structural work that needs to be done there. And Roma and Jean-Pierre are coming back here on Friday, and I think that's going to have a look at it. So I'm going to point out a few questions there. The only thing I can do is the bottom ones here. Not the very bottom one, but this one and this one. But I have to figure out if what I'm going to do is here. Am I going to put a one there or not? There's a wood there already, so it's going to look okay, but maybe I just will for that. I don't know. Have to think about it. Anyway, this one is a bit of a question mark because I'm not sure if this is going or staying here. It kind of looks like it's just a temporary thing, but so there's no point of working around it until I know what it's going to be. Well, I suppose I can put that one in there. Let's see. Okay, Jean-Pierre rang us 6:15 this morning that he's coming. And we have been working with him all morning. And this is starting to look really cool. I mean, really cool. Look at this. There's still a bit of work to do. I need to finish the covers here. This was fixed from, as I said, it was a little bit off yesterday. But the supports are now down. Then I'm going to put a little bit more supports in here and something at the top, but this is looking really cool. I am very happy with it, and with the handrail and everything. But now Kevin arrived, and I think we're changing gears. We're going to do something else. let's go see what's going on.
Là, si je démonte le bandeau, par contre, là, je vais démonter le bandeau qui est chez nous, là. Je vais le faire tu le laisses? Bah non. Ah si, tu le ragrandis. Bah non. Tu laisses une question comme ça. Tu faire propre. Ou alors, ou alors je laisse le bandeau, mais je découpe juste la taille du chevron pour pouvoir mettre mon chevron dedans. C'est ce qu'il faut arriver contre la façade. Je voulais mettre un. Comment un.
So this morning's been a bit of a blur. We were working so fast again. We got, as I showed you, the stairway, which is now in very nice shape. The other thing I really need to do is I'm going to put the back wall here is going to be covered. Just the first part, just stuff doesn't fall behind there, and you know. And that's looking forward to doing that. And then we went continues upstairs where we because this space has these massive big beams. I'll show you here. And they're kind of a bit of a pain in the hole to jump over all the time. The next level is up elevated, so we decided to make a staircase here. Obviously I still need to put a chipboard on top of it, but the structure is there. I can finish it on my own, which is great. We go down here, and there's the next stairway to the next level up here. So the plan here is kind of starting to take a little bit of shape, but we'll see how it works. On this side, eventually we're hoping to do another room, which will be then Natalie's space, because Natalie's a Reiki master. Anybody looking for a Reiki master? So sort you out. So we'd like to give her a space where she can do that, and it'd be nice if it was away from the actual living quarters of the house, so if somebody comes here, they can just come in here. On the other side of these beams, the last section, that's kind of earmarked for me to eventually build some sort of music room studio in there. It is bigger than the caravan. Having said that, I still enjoy doing work in a caravan, so we'll see how that's gonna. I have to have a better vision of how it's gonna work. And then the middle part here, this railing, it's pretty cool. You release a couple of screws and you can lift them up, and we can lift stuff from the bottom, from the doorway all the way up here if needs be something long or big. This, we're thinking of doing a kind of lounge area in the middle part. Maybe a sofa and you know, some hangout area. So it can be used then for both me and Natalie for, you know, whatever those stuff we're doing in between, and I don't know, maybe a coffee station or something, we'll see. But that's the plan for now, and that's what we've done today. Now, Tomorrow, I have a concert. Hold on, let's talk about this properly. Last year, I played in the opening of Rouille Orange, which is just across the river from Macon. It's a shop run by Natalie's cousin and a few other people, and it's really cool shop. They're like craft artists got together and decided to open a shop together to sell their stuff and other people's stuff as well, and it's really cool. And I was lucky enough that I was invited to play there in the opening, and now tomorrow is their 1 year anniversary of the opening, and they have invited me to come back and play there again, so I'll be there tomorrow at 6 p.m. Good morning from the Liberzen of the Goosery. Not a glorious morning here. I think we're heading to a bit of a heat wave. Yesterday, last night, I got a very unexpected text message from my brother, who apparently is doing some work in Grenoble at the moment. And he said, are you home tomorrow? I was like, yeah. I mean, I got a gig tonight, but later on. But yeah, I'm home. And he said he's got a day off, so he's gonna come visit me, which was very unexpected and really cool. I'm over the mood that he's coming over. Now, start my morning as usual. Funny slugs. Yeah, you're gonna go. You're gonna go. To the field you go. New life. This is actually not too bad this morning. Usually it's a lot worse. Maybe my beer traps are starting to work finally. There's a few there. There's a few there. There's a few there. That one's empty. This one I can't really see if there's any in there, but I assumed there would be. That's nearly empty. There's a few there. Yeah, they're definitely working now. Need to fill them again. Yeah. Garden's looking alright. See my brother. Recognized him walk miles away. This is the famous Kallio walk.
How am I supposed to love you if I don't love who I am? How can I give you all of me when I'm only half my mind? Cause your chicken shit that's burning, so let go of my hand. How can I give you all my heart? I don't mind bleeding. Your tongue keeps me waiting, waiting. Oh, oh. I got a love that keeps me waiting. Oh, oh. I got a love that keeps me waiting. I'm a lonely boy. I'm a lonely boy. read her writers, the books about herself. Her blessing is on the lips, her eyes like a meadow lark. Her eyes like an ocean so mysterious and dark. One more cup of coffee for the road.